Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to tonight's version of Live with BaldyPal. Got my special guest tonight, Eric, the college picker. How are you doing, sir?
Good. That intro was happening. I was dancing backstage.
And my guest host for the evening is F3. How are you, Josh?
What is up, Adam? How you doing, Eric? It's gonna be a fun night.
Yeah, let's do it.
I hope you got lots of questions, Josh. This guy's got all the technical answers you've been hoping for.
And this is what I love about this. Adam, you are a tech wizard. You're talking to a tech wizard. I get to do the tech questions for dummies. That's the fun part.
That'll be awesome. Let's do it. Well, let's just jump right in for a second, Eric. Hey, tell us a little bit about your history in YouTube. The College Picker is your name. How did you come up with that name, man? I mean, is it as obvious as the name says?
Well, way back in the day, everyone was putting picker or hustler in their name, I guess. And this was probably around like 2012. And there was maybe only like 10 people on YouTube. And I was in college at the time. I was buying stuff to sell, and I just picked the name. And now I'm just a student of life. Like, the world is my college. I'm always learning.
So you finished the college career. You're not a lifetime student, right?
Not in traditional sense. No, I'm just the student of life.
Kept the college picker name though, right? I love it. It's awesome. We got a great people up here in the comments. We got Steve from Resale Dojo. He's here. Thanks, buddy. Oh, and that's you, Eric, saying hello. And then Ken. Great fella, always a great supporter of the show. Thanks for coming out, Ken. We do appreciate you. At any point in time, the chat, if you've got questions for us, Eric or Josh or myself, just throw it in the chat and we will make sure to work it into the conversation. So, Eric, the college picker, you have a bunch of electronics and a bunch of technical videos, which I personally found you when I was looking for a thermal printer. That's how I came across Eric, the college printer.
Oh, good. So I organically fizzled up to the top. That's good.
Yeah, man. So you know what it was? It was that zebra printer video. After watching your video, I went to eBay and I bought me a zebra. It's right here.
Is it the 2844?
It sure is, man. With the Ethernet plug-in.
True. Been around forever. You could drop it downstairs and it'll still work.
Absolutely. So how did you get into tech? Is it something you've always just loved, or is there a point in your life that just pointed you in that direction?
Just always been interested in it, I guess. I grew up with a family of 3 brothers, and my parents had a computer, and I was just always like tinkering with it, and I don't know, installing Wi-Fi cards, learning about the internet, and then just I guess I just grew up with it. I was hands-on and always just kind of interested in it. And
you like when you open up the hard drive or you open up the tower and just looking in it, you see a challenge where lots of people are like, what? I don't even know what this is. RAM. What is RAM? Right?
Yeah. And that stuff's pretty plug and play. So it's pretty easy on that level. It's pretty easy.
Is that you, Josh?
I was going to say, yeah, I follow you on Instagram, Eric. I love your stories. Like even just the bolo that you were sharing recently, that vacuum. That's something for me that I'm like, brand good. Now, what is he going to tell me is wrong with it? What do I need to avoid?
Yeah, just don't buy it for $500.
Yeah, don't buy it for $500.
Yeah, exactly. Don't buy it for $500.
But I would watch your stories because you'd see a problem, and dude, I just follow along your stories. You're solving the problem, and you do it in a good, practical way. When it's above my head, I'm like, all right, sorry, I'll skip to where he's showing me the cool finished product, but. You're just
avoid that problem if you don't want to do that with that product.
But you're a super good teacher with that stuff. You really are.
Yeah, patience is a strength that I've realized kind of later in life that a lot of people don't have. So I try to play to that, I guess.
So do you find yourself purposefully looking for hardware that you can fix to resell, or it's just that's the minor side of it all for you?
It's just if it comes up, like. Well, now I'd rather something a little bit be wrong with it, because then I could turn it into a piece of content that lives on beyond that item that I would sell. So I would rather have something that has a slight issue right now than something that I would just be able to sell one and done. Because if it's something that, especially if it's a common issue or a popular product, for sure if it's searchable and something that would help make the world less sucky.
I like that. I like it a lot because I need videos like you. Even though I am a tech person myself, you don't know everything in tech. Like, it's almost impossible for one person to know everything tech related. So I go to YouTube to help me fill in the gaps. For example, I picked up a laptop, an HP laptop that was only about 3 years old for $10. But it was
still in warranty if it's an Elite book or something, because
it you know what? I didn't even check warranty, but it worked. It was just stuck on the person's login screen. So I just needed to figure out exactly which F button do I have to push to get to the reset screen, right? So I really appreciate videos like yours that walk you through the simple things in the tech life, if you will. But you've recently also been doing some review videos like that free. It's free. Is it Free X? The printer?
Yeah, Free X is one of the newer printers to actually come out that actually has a feature that we haven't seen in like 4 years, because everyone's been USB. And if you go on Amazon, you'll see like 50 different USB thermal printers that look like a Rollo or that look like a Zebra.
Right.
And they all come from like the same handful of factories in China. They're all private label products from Amazon. So they just have to slightly change it to create a new brand, but it's pretty much the same thing, like hardware wise. And this is finally something with a new feature, like that just hasn't popped out yet. So yeah, I was pretty stoked on it when they reached out to work with me.
That is awesome. Before we get too deep into that conversation, let me say hello to a couple of new faces in the crowd. We got the ATL Flipper. That's Derek. Thanks for showing up tonight, buddy. And Sal, how are you, my friend? Look, it's Eric, he says. And we got Greg, Rocky Mountain Resale. Appreciate you joining us tonight. And Mrs. Flips, there's good old Brittany. How are you, lady? Thanks for coming out, everybody. Again, if you got questions for Eric or Josh or myself, just throw them in the comments. We'll make sure to answer them. So I was watching your video. Yeah, Josh, go ahead.
I was going to expand on your question because I think like something I figured out when you go after stuff that's like at a thrift store or yard sale that's looked over because it is too difficult. I figured that like that's a good captive like item you could grab, because like I said, somebody like me, if I plug it in and it doesn't do the basic ABC function, that's a gold mine for you. It's somebody tried it, they tested it, it's above their pay grade, mentally. I love that you can come in and get it cheaper or get it, and it doesn't have to be the first thing in the morning. Like, does that ever happen to you where you're just like, oh, this is valuable, somebody thought it was broken and it was this fix? Like, does that ever work for you in that benefit?
This is for me or is this for him?
For you.
Or is it for both of us? Yeah, totally. It makes it so I don't have to sit at the bins all day, like going after stuff. I just go in once and I look around, and then maybe there's something that's broken, or maybe there's something that just somebody doesn't want, or like a certain printer, like that's too heavy. Nobody wants to pay 69 cents a pound for a 25-pound printer. So I can just like casually go in there for 10 minutes and just find one or two items that I can either make videos on, or I can make $250 on, depending on the item. It totally is an advantage, but it's at a cost of do I really want to work on it? Do I really want to have to research it? And what if it's not just the toner? What if it's also the fuser? What if it's like, so there could be other problems as well. But it is an advantage in that aspect for sure.
Definitely. I have personally been riding the soapbox that I believe that Rollo is a hype. Dymo is a hype. And I wanted to ask you, since I have you on the show, would you agree or disagree with that statement?
So Dymo was just like first to market. Okay. So they made their printer and released it before China started exporting printers to us. And that's just what people had. So that's what, and Zebra in its infancy in like 2004, 2005, 2006 would still have been like a $500 printer. Like that 2844 you have would have been like a $300, $400, $500 printer. And still, if you buy like a prosumer grade like warehouse Zebra printer, a modern day model would still be like $400, $500 if you're going for the new stuff.
Wow.
So the Dymo cut came in with, I think they came out in like 2004, 2005 with a USB consumer printer. And it was just available. Like they sold them at Staples, they sold them at Office Depot, they sold them at maybe Circuit City. I don't know, maybe at Walmart. I'm not 100% sure if they were sold at Walmart. They were carried on Amazon. So it's just what people had. So they bought it, and the technology was new to them. And of course, you're going to be addicted to thermal labels and adhesive instead of having to tape stuff on.
Yeah.
So that's kind of my thing with Dymo. Like it is an inferior design. Like if you actually pick it up and hold it, how chintzy it feels, and how poorly it's how hard it is to like get to the print head to clean it if you were to get adhesive in there. A lot of people tag me on Instagram when they get jams and it self-destructs. It's just like awful design. They were just kind of like first to consumer market, and then Rollo is just a marketing company. Really, they're customer service and marketing. They don't make their printer; they get it from China.
Yeah,
I was about to say, I really do feel like it's a default printer that they just slap their label on.
They were the first to private label. I think they private labeled that printer in like 2016. So they were first to really dig in with a with like a good customer service experience, because Dymo was lacking in customer service. I think Dymo is owned by Rubbermaid. Like they're owned, their parent company is like a big company, and they just don't understand. They're so big to where they don't understand what people actually having problems with.
Wow.
And
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Rubbermaid. I'm not 100% sure, but it is like a big like parent company that Dymo's under. And then Rollo is just a private label company. So the customer service can be as good as you can make as a entrepreneur. It was probably just a dude and a couple people that he'd started a company. I think it's this company called like Nilu, and they're out of Arizona, maybe.
Okay. Well, first to market can be good and can be bad. They just happen to hit the good side of the coin on this one.
I have a Rollo, and I can affirm what Eric is saying. My setup video is a YouTube video. It's literally like click play, 1, 2, 3, and then any time that I had to troubleshoot anything, they're fast. Now I haven't had to. I've had it for a little over a year now, and it's cruising right along. And I can put paper in it, like.
Them getting in first and really understanding like the American side, because I want to say the owner is an American like a e-commerce guy, so he like understands kind of what we need and built it around that, and understands marketing and understood how to run Facebook ads, understood how to make a good Amazon listing. And although they are charging, I think it's $179 or maybe $189 right now for their printer.
Right.
If they did what they did with their tape, then they probably started their price a lot lower, probably at $120, $130, and got a bunch of reviews and got it into a bunch of people's hands and still had margin, because they're getting those units at about $40 to $50 each, and still had enough margin to where they could just build up that preferred Amazon listing, and now they're untouchable. They're like over 10,000 reviews.
I had forgotten that it was you who pointed me in the direction of the Rollo tape for $1 a roll.
Oh, it was crazy.
I bought maybe 35 rolls that day.
It was insane how cheap it was, and they're doing the exact same thing. That I wasn't following their the printer in 2016, so I don't know for a fact that that's the strategy they use. But that's a private label strategy. It's like make your product break even / a little bit of profit as you're building it up. And they didn't have competitors back then like they do now. There's so many private label printer companies now.
Yeah.
Let's answer Derek's question real quick. How long have you been reselling? Did you say 2012?
2012 is when I started YouTube, I think. Reselling was maybe 2007, 2006, 2007.
Okay. Wow.
2007.
Lots of years. I graduated. Your belt.
High school was 2006. So like 2007 was like when I really figured out Craigslist and started flipping stuff on Craigslist.
I wish it had been something I had figured out when I first got out of high school or was in high school, but it hit me later in life. But I'm enjoying it now.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's like however you get exposed to it, it like opens up this world that you didn't know existed before of how to merchant and trade and the like real value of goods and how you can save money just buying stuff secondhand and flipping stuff.
Yeah. It looks like Flippy. What is MF label? My $65 MF label.
It's just another private label. Company. They ran a sale.
Like, Flippy better not be doing like MF prefixes here.
It's a company probably out of China that doesn't understand what MF actually means as an abbreviation in English. So
well, it's still going strong.
Yeah,
I thought he meant you sold him a broken, repaired label printer. Like you just sold the MF label.
no, one of those companies went on sale, and I had shouted them out on Instagram because it's like $65. That's cheaper than you can get it from Alibaba. Like they're buying them wholesale for $40. They're probably barely breaking even at 65, if that. It might be losing trying to get up in the ranks on Amazon.
Yeah. Well, look at that. Derek said he found a Dymo XL half off, paid $121 and sold it for $160.
There you go.
Yeah.
They're still hot.
$160. You could turn around and buy one that uses non-proprietary labels, and
there you go.
Not have to buy those Dymo labels.
Right.
So,
correct me if I'm wrong. I think you're also the one who had the video that taught me how to get free labels from FedEx. Is that correct?
I don't think I have like a specific video showing like step by step how to do it, but I talk about it. Like,
you mentioned it somewhere.
I always mention it, but I don't think I have a dedicated video showing people like click here, click there, because it's not that intuitive to find it.
Right.
And like it's kind of confusing to navigate through their portal of where you order supplies from. And if you don't know, you would never have any idea that you could do that for free on FedEx.
But I know it must blow people away whenever they hear you say that, because when I mention it in person to somebody in the store who's another reseller, and I tell them that, they're like, "What? You can get almost 1,000 labels for free from FedEx?" Like, yeah, man, go for it.
It is on a 3-inch
Shout out
core.
College Picker.
It is on a 3-inch core, which is kind of annoying with the smaller enclosed printers.
Yeah,
but there's ways you can get it to work.
Feed it. You got a Zebra? Just feed it from the back.
Feed it through the back. You can roll it to a 1-inch core. Some people do that. I actually have a printer that I can fit that 3-inch core when it's about half full in it. So I just like that too.
Wow.
So.
Yep, rewrap the old cores from the big one, and you're good to go. Girl Hustle's out here hanging out, and let me ask you, Girl Hustle, I do not recall your name, so if you could put that in the chat so I can know your name next time.
Ken answered our Google question on owning Dymo and Rubbermaid in the chat.
Oh, Greg did?
Nope. Go one down. Ken, SSK promo.
Okay, there we go.
UL Brands owns Dymo and Rubbermaid.
Okay, so it's like a parent company that owns Rubbermaid and Dymo. Okay,
there you go.
Brands. Knew it was something about Rubbermaid.
Gotta love Google.
That quick Google search.
Oh yeah, Derek had the jacket they were talking about there in the chat. So I wanted to ask you, tell us about going to pawn shops, because my experiences with pawn shops are not all that great. I know, just like if you go into a pawn shop and you get a laptop, you do not know what you're getting. They won't let me boot it up. They won't let me plug it in.
They should. That's a bad shop if they're not letting you boot it up.
So I've tried 2 different ones that I actually found a laptop in. I mean, I've been into several, but I haven't found that many laptops, right? Tell us about that recent scenario you went through when you found an HP laptop in a pawn shop.
Sure. So I go into pawn shops. I've been doing it for years, looking for deals on Tronics. Usually they are the pros, so people don't think that you can make money off of pawn shops, but you certainly can. It's a little bit more advanced, intermediate, I think, than garage sales and thrift stores, because your price points normally are going to be higher. You need to know your products better than them, and if they're the pros, then you need to be like the super pro. Or you just need to find something that was just a mistake, a price mistake, or something. Or you also can kind of schmooze them, and I've gotten in with managers and been able to get really good deals that way too. So recently, I think it was like a week ago, I just went into one, was by this luggage repair shop that I've been going to get luggage repaired here in Dallas, and there was a pawn shop. I popped in real quick.
At a luggage repair shop?
No, it was near it. It was like
went to a luggage repair shop to get your luggage repaired?
Yeah. Just
go figure. Sorry,
it was expensive luggage. I wanted to sell it. And it was
good job.
So it was like right across the street. So I popped in, never been to that one before, and I found a HP EliteBook G 840 G5, which is a really, really good work laptop. Like, it's aluminum body. It's got a cat card reader on the side, fingerprint scanner, SIM card tray. Like, this is a workbook for computer for like hardcore companies. It was a company, and they had it listed for $295.
At the pawn shop?
At the pawn shop, yeah. And which is a great deal for that laptop, because the market on eBay is about $550 to $600. So I was
brand new, it's about $1,200.
Yeah, and it was probably about a $1,200 laptop when it was new. It had an i7 processor, 256 SSD, 16 gigs of RAM. Like, it was a nice little work machine. 14-inch laptop. USB-C charger came with it. It was in immaculate condition, and it was 310 out the door. And I was gonna make sure everything was good on it, and then I was gonna pass it on to Instagram, probably for like $100 profit, and it'll be cheaper than eBay, but they can trust me because I'm not the guy on eBay that's selling the stolen laptop.
Right.
So I was going to pass it on because it was a really good computer. It really could help somebody's business. And I went home, booted it up because the pawn shop I booted it at the pawn shop, but they didn't have Wi-Fi. So as soon as I come home, I boot it on, connect it to Wi-Fi, and I update them because you want to make sure you have like all the latest drivers or whatever. So I was updating it, and then it was like acting weird. Like, things were kind of lagging, and I was like, this computer should not have any lag at all. There's nothing installed on it. Like, something's wrong. And then it popped up with this device was property of Chase Capital One Incorporated, email Capital One with if you think this message is an error. And then I flipped it over, and I was like, oh, there's an asset tag on it. Like, that makes sense. It probably was somebody's work laptop. They either got fired or laid off. They're pissed off. They pawn it.
Yep.
So I called the manager of the pawn shop, and I was just like, hey, I bought this laptop yesterday. Or I actually bought it the same day. So I was like, hey, I bought this laptop earlier today, and this is what's wrong with it. And she's like, yeah, just bring it in. You can return it. Full refund. No worries. And I was like, okay, that's fine.
It's a good thing they gave you a refund on that.
Yeah.
Usually you're going to get anything done with that laptop.
Usually the pawn shops, not Cash America, Easy Pawn's like 24 hours return policy. But if you call ahead and like explain it to a competent manager, like what's going on, they'll give you some, like, if I was out of town for a couple of days, they probably would have been okay. Yeah, come back. We'll still give you a refund.
So insert my little story here. I found your scenario that you were going through on your Instagram stories with this, and it hit all too familiar with me because that's the role I'm in on my 8 to 5. I'm in asset management at the company I work for. So when you showed that screen on your Instagram stories, I was like, dude, he ain't gonna get nowhere with that laptop. It is locked down tight.
Yeah, they got some good security. I was looking into HP's BIOS tech, their BIOS chipping technology, and they have such security. I don't know if it was something that was actually just encrypted on the hard drive, or if it was something side loaded to the BIOS or whatever. I was just
BIOS level.
Yeah, I'm just not even gonna mess with it because I wiped it and it still came back. And if I don't even want to mess with that, like.
So, Josh, BIOS is deeper than the hard drive. You take the hard drive out, it's like BIOS is like at first startup. Okay, just making sure you can carry on with the conversation.
When you boot and you see it, it'll say like HP and then startup, or it'll flash the what are those called? Splash screens. It'll flash a splash screen, and then before you get into Windows is the BIOS, and it's actually on like a chip level.
Yeah. So only time I've heard about that was our professor in college. He got paid to basically scrape the bare bones of every. He worked for a company that had to go not just wipe, but go investigate
forensics,
personal labs and stuff like that. And he was like, we find stuff 7-8 years old from 3 users back, and I mean, it's just insane. And when he unearthed all that, and I was like, yep, that's above my head. Yep.
Greg's had a question for you, Eric. When's the last time you found an XL pill? Is that a Dymo XL?
No, he's talking about the Beats Pill XL. That's the
okay.
That's the fire hazard special from Apple that you could still get a warranty claim on and get a $325 check direct deposit into your bank account if you find one of those. I think it was last year. I don't think I found one since last year. I think I've only found 2 or 3 in my whole thrifting career.
So if you found one at the thrift. And it's
been a pawn shop every time. I've never found.
Is it Beats XL? Is it Beats?
Dre Beats Pill XL. It's an older. I have a video
like a Bluetooth speaker.
Yeah, it's big though. They have a Pill, and then there's the Pill XL, and the Pill XL was the one that had the fire hazard recall.
So they're still paying recall payments out on that.
Yeah, $325. Yeah, it's good.
How do you? Do you still have your pharmacy degree / license?
Any plans going back? I still have my degree. I'm never going to lose my degree. The license is biennial, I think, every 2 years. And I have a license for Florida and a license for Texas that are not expired to my knowledge, I don't think. So
I didn't ask you that question. Is pharmaceuticals the degree you got in college?
Yeah, I'm like licensed to work behind the counter at Walgreens.
Okay.
Like
Nice.
Counting pills and or Walmart or whatever.
But you don't do that right now. You're full-time resale?
I haven't touched pharmacy in like 2.5 years, I don't think.
So how long have you been full-time resale?
I wouldn't even say I'm full-time resale because I don't do like 40 hours a week on it, and I'm not making full-time resale money. So I've always been just side resale for like over a decade.
Okay, good deal. Good deal.
But I don't have a 9 to 5. I'm self-employed all the way. It's just
good deal.
I wouldn't say I'm full-time resale either.
Julian says you lost me at boot. Appreciate you coming out, buddy. And here we go. There's Profit Monsters. What's up, man? Thanks for coming out. Yinser Picker, thanks for hanging out tonight, buddy. Appreciate you so much. Eric, I have a bike rack I need you to help me identify.
Okay, if it doesn't have an identifier on it, it's probably not a good brand because those brands want free advertising.
Yeah. Absolutely. Hanging on the back of your car, right?
Yeah, Yakima and Thule are the top two, and Kuat is one too. But it depends on the bike rack. I don't know if he's talking about roof racks or if he's talking about hitch mount or if he's talking about trunk mount, but there's Kuat is another one that's been popular over the last couple of years. And then what else? Thule, Yakima, and Kuat. There might be a few others, but if it's not branded.
Oh, I said Thule. Yeah.
Thule. Okay.
Thule.
There's so many models. There are a lot of models because they have an engineering team that's just constantly improving plastics and metals and materials and design. So they have to, and they want to sell something new and improved to people. So they always are coming out with new stuff. So yeah, totally.
When you're
shoot me a picture of it and I'll try to identify it.
When you're out at the thrift and you come across an electronic, and I don't know what it could be, just pick one, but it's broken. Like you in the store right then and there, it's broken. Do you buy it just for the thrill and the challenge of seeing if you can make it work again?
It depends on how it's broken.
Well, okay.
If it like won't even power on, if it won't power on, I don't think I have the patience to do like to ohm it out with a voltmeter and replace resistors. I don't have that time right now. Like,
but
I'm
you
trying
have
to create,
before picked up something that powered on, but something didn't quite work right about it, and just for the sheer sake
bought it and just
of the challenge.
Yeah, earlier I would say probably maybe like 5 to 10 years ago, I would buy. I specifically remember these like monitors. They were computer monitors that were so cheap to where I think I didn't even test them. I just bought them and then I brought them home. Right. They wouldn't even power on, but it was just capacitors. Like I had to just replace the capacitors in them, and they were good to go.
I like that question, Adam. You're like, Eric's like, that's it. When I get home, we're going live until it's fixed.
Yeah.
Operation. And it's like, because I was going to ask that kind of follow up. You were saying that, and I agree. You got to put like a dollar amount of profit for your time. So what's that like threshold for you? You know,
it's not even that either. If I want it to be a problem that other people are going to have.
Oh, that's good.
That's searchable, and it's going to be like, it has to make sense to me. Like somebody else is going to be trying to do this repair at some point, because there's one thing I do. I pull off Apple Watches. I pull off the screens of Apple Watches to sell them on eBay. But I'm like, should I make a video about this? Not a lot of people are going to be doing this, so nobody's going to be searching for it. So I don't think I'm even going to do that. Like, that's counterintuitive. Like, nobody really wants to buy broken Apple Watches to pull the screens off to sell them on eBay. It's not really a repair. It's just like something that I've been doing. So I have to think like, okay, is somebody else going to try to fix this?
That's good.
And I just fixed a rice cooker yesterday, and that I think is going to help a lot of people, because all across like India and Philippines and Asia, where people might not have the means to buy a new rice cooker, they could buy this 30-cent thermal fuse and just fix their rice cooker like that.
And that's the second and third like largest population on YouTube too, which is we think in America, I mean, we only make up about 18% of the viewership. So you think of that India, you know.
Oh yeah, my YouTube strategy and just like perspective of things has completely changed over the last year and a half. I've done a complete 180. No more hauls, no more thrift with me, none of that. Like I want a global audience. I want to be able to help people in India that are trying to fix their vacuum cleaners.
That's good.
Did you see a major uptick whenever you made that change?
It's gradual. I'm very consistent. I don't have content that's ever going to like ramp up. It's all just very consistent, gradual upward slope. But I notice more comments. That's how I've really noticed it, is comments from people with it sounds like Indian names or from the Philippines.
Good.
Or they'll say like, hey, I'm from India or whatever. And I've noticed that even just with like printer installations and things like that, like I'm getting a more of a global audience that are looking for this problem to be solved.
That is excellent. That's beyond the resale view, and I love it. I love it. Yinzer Picker says, even if you can't fix it, you can part it out and maybe make more money.
Absolutely. There's a whole different type of strategy when it comes to parting stuff out. I parted out portafilter on the Starbucks barista machine that wouldn't. I didn't even want to mess with it. I was like, this is not. I got a box of projects. This one already has a good video of somebody repairing it or something. Like, I don't want to do this. I'm not that good at coffee makers. I'm just going to sell the portafilter and then sell it for parts. Good to go.
There you go. Excellent. Excellent. All right, guys. Well, I would like to make a swing of things a little bit, and I want to jump into a game. Would y'all like to play a game tonight? I have started. I found a new game. This isn't an eBay related game. Sorry, guys. But I found this at Goodwill the other day. It's Family Feud Late Night Edition. So I thought maybe we could have a little bit of fun, and y'all can, the way we're going to do it is you will obviously be your own team. Eric team A and Josh team B. We'll swap it out there just a little bit. And I've got a bunch of cards broken down into categories over here. And what we're going to do is I'm going to read the category, like in Family Feud, I'm going to read the question and you just name out as many answers as you think would fit in that category. And we're going to play 3 strikes. Your turn's over. And for each one you get right, you get a point. All right. So we'll keep up with the points on a scorecard over here. Got my little marker, got my little dry erase board. And we will start with Eric. And if you get it right, I'll let you know. And if you get it wrong, I'll also let you know. Now, this is the late night edition. I have not looked at these pictures. I have not looked at these cards ahead of time. But chat, if you want to play along and help them out, I have no problem with that. We're not going to have a timer per se. But if you get stumped and you can't think of one in like 5-6 seconds, I'm going to go ahead and say, you're out. All right, on to the next person. So, Eric, you're first. Do you think you ready?
Let's try it.
Let's try it. Okay. Family Feud style. Name something in which size matters. Name something in which size matters.
The size of your rims in your car, the bank account.
Bank's on here. You got 1 strike.
Biceps.
No, that's
how
2
much
strikes.
How many push-ups you can do?
No, it's 3 strikes. That's 3 strikes. You're out.
Anatomy.
No more. Oh, that is on here, but you already got 3 strikes.
Oh.
We got your bank account. That was on here. We're not going to try to steal Josh.
Okay.
So let's say the anatomy was number 1 answer, Eric. Clothes. Name something in which size matters. Clothes. You said bank account. Car matters. Shoes.
Shoes. That's what I was going to go with.
Size of your shoes. Size of your bed matters. And then food portions matter. So that's how that's going to go. That's round number 1. You got a little preview there, Josh. So It's your turn. All right. Name something that gets dirty. Name something that gets dirty.
Your car.
Yep. That's 1 point.
Clothes.
It's all the same thing that was on the other one.
But that's true. It is, isn't it? Clothes. That's 2 points.
Your house.
That's 3 points. Did you read these cards ahead of time?
No, sadly, your mind.
Nope.
Oh wow! I thought late night. I thought I was gonna go there.
No.
Yeah. You're. Thank you. I'm gonna take my phone a friend with Ken. Your body.
No. That's 2 strikes.
I don't know. Your finances.
No, that's 3 strikes. All right, you got 3 points on that one. All right, clothes you got, dishes get dirty.
Yeah.
Car, you said, house, you said, your floor, your shoes, and your socks. And somehow 3 of those answers are on the same card, Eric. You're right about that.
Yeah. So it's gonna trigger something in the brain that it's already there.
All right, so let's do another round. And the next question, Eric, this is for you, okay? So you don't have to spurt them off one after another. There's no real time limit. What's something you always want more of?
Ice
What's
cream.
something you always want more of? I'll give you dessert. You said ice cream. I'll give you dessert. That's 1. Money. That's 2. Something you always want more of. Jewelry. No, that's not on here. That's 1 strike.
Time.
Yeah.
No, that's not on here. That's a great answer, but it's not on here. Love. I'll give you that. Sex is on here.
I was thinking more of like love of family and friends and
I know,
acceptance.
But we'll give you the point.
It's the late night edition.
It's the late night edition. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I like everybody in the chat said time. I'm like that. That makes the most sense.
So you got 1 more strike.
SSK promo says life, and that's what I kind of meant by time was like life, like time in your life. More of health
makes sense. Health is health on here. Health is not on here.
Well,
so that's
and
3 strikes.
Is like all that people care about.
So you got 3 more points on that one.
Wow.
And let's say this is the double point round. So I'm going to give you 6 points.
I like what Greg said. Family Feud has some of the dumbest answers. They don't think logical.
Well, here's the thing about Family Feud. They don't make up their own answers. No. They ask the public
they
for the answers.
Yeah.
So if that says anything, kind of reminds you of the movie Idiocracy. Have you ever seen the movie Idiocracy?
Yeah.
So, okay, moving right along.
That's where I got my pharmacy degree, was from Costco.
My lawyer degree. All right, Josh, you ready?
Yeah.
Name something you'd never eat on a first date.
Oh, man.
Name something you'd never eat on a first date.
Barbecue ribs.
Yeah, that's on there.
Okay.
Ding, ding, ding.
Sloppy Joes.
No.
Ooh, got some good chat. Garlic.
Yep, that's on here.
There we go. Onions. Thanks, Ken.
That's on there.
They're the Family Feud audience there.
Yeah. All right.
I'm gonna say maybe
come up with your own
pasta.
Pasta is on here. Spaghetti's on here.
Wow. Okay.
All right. You got 2 more answers. What?
Tacos.
No. It's your second strike.
Come
on.
I'm stumped.
Okay, that's it. You're out of time. All right, so you got 4 points on there. Double point round. We're gonna knock you up to 8 points on that.
What's up, Jimmy?
Let's see. You got garlic. You got spaghetti. Did you get onions? You got onions, didn't you? How about fish?
No, didn't think of that one.
How about crab meat?
I don't know why that would be bad though.
But the last one, baked beans.
Okay.
Baked beans. All right. So don't eat that on your first day. Jimmy, what's up, man? Appreciate you coming out, my friend. All right. Eric, you ready for round 3? Let's do it. All right. Name something that's better about being single than being married.
Ooh.
You don't have to consider anyone else's feelings when you do something.
It's a pretty long answer. I don't know if that's on here or not.
You just kind of do it. You don't have to ask for permission for anybody.
I'll give it to you. Do what I want to do.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like however you want to word it. You just do whatever you want.
There you go. What else you got?
There's some good. There's some.
How long
good,
you been married, Eric?
There's some good.
2017, I think, is when we got married. So
4 years.
Oh, we've been dating for like before I made YouTube, so
Yeah,
like over a decade.
So it's been a while since you had your single brain turned on, huh? All right.
You could stay out late.
Freedom to do what you want. Freedom. No, staying out late's not on here, but do what you want. It's kind of the same
You could
thing.
save money, I guess, if you don't have to. No, you could. You don't really.
No.
I think you save more money when you're married than you do when you're going out. So
yeah, I bet you do. All right, so you got 2 strikes so far and 1 right answer.
Privacy.
Yeah, that's
like
on
that
here.
SSA promo.
2
privacy. Freedom
already
is
said
on there.
freedom.
I don't think money would be there because it's like you save money.
Yep. Final answer.
You don't have to worry about like cleaning up after yourself, I guess.
That's not on here.
Like bachelor pads are usually pretty filthy.
All right, so you got 2 points on that one, and this is a triple point round. So that's 6 more points for you. How about you said freedom, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, freedom is basically freedom, so I gave you a point for that. Sex is on here. Alone time. Do what I want. You said that one, and you said privacy. Oh, there you go. I almost messed you up. Let's see, 3 times. That's 9 points actually, because you said freedom. I just forgot to count you on that one. Privacy, no jealousy, and no nagging.
Oh,
you're still gonna get jealousy from like other people that are like, "Oh, you're talking to her, you're talking to me."
Right.
I don't know.
You drive the car? Yeah.
But I guess if you're single, you're not getting that.
Like, and you could just be, I guess, single as in you're not like talking or
you're not even
with anybody else. I guess
nobody, just straight up single.
Yeah.
All right, Josh. 3rd round, triple bonus points. Name something you've worn when it was dirty.
T-shirt.
Yep.
Jeans.
Yes.
Jacket.
No.
Okay. Hat.
Nope.
Socks.
Nope. So you only got 2 points for you.
Wow.
Out. So that is 6 points for you. You said jeans. They have T-shirt on here separately, but then they also have shirt.
What?
Yep. Then they have underwear.
I guess they're talking about like long sleeve shirts,
sweatpants, and bra.
Wow, I wasn't thinking.
There you go. Well, adding up the points real quick. 9, 6, and 1. That's 15. 16 points so far for you, Eric. 6, 8, and 3. That's 14, 15, 16, 17 points for Josh. Wow. All right. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to read. I know it's not a tiebreaker, but I just want to do this for the fun of it. Okay. So I'm going to let Eric go first. The first one to give me, let's say you got to give me a right answer. I'm going to pick one of the hard ones. First one to give me a good answer wins the game overall. Everything on the table. Okay. You ready, Josh?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but this is for Eric. I'm saying, are you ready, Josh, to lose it if Eric gets it right?
Okay.
All right, Eric. Name something you might lie about until you know someone better. Name something you might lie about until you know someone better.
See, I wouldn't lie. I wouldn't lie about anything. It's like, accept me for who I am. But I guess I got to think from like a worldly perspective of somebody else.
Yep.
How much I make.
Money.
Yeah.
Money's on here.
I mean, I wouldn't do that, but I guess other people would.
This is a crazy question. Anyway, well, at least we know now how good or bad that game is going to be in the future. I totally would have thought that Late Night Edition would have been a little bit more funnier than that. So, oh well, right? Late Night Edition, Family Feud. That's probably a no in the future, wouldn't you think?
Oh, age is a good one. Lie about your age. Yeah,
age is a good one.
Yeah, that's
so
a good one.
The rest of them were
flips, right?
age, money, weight, job, and sex.
Oh, a lot of people lie about their height now on dating apps. I've heard that from my wife. Some of my wife's friends.
Virtual?
Yeah, like
Well,
people will
eventually
say,
you're gonna
like,
figure that one out.
guys will say they're taller
I
just to
can
get
see
the
guys
first
doing
date.
that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Because if
my
you
wife
only
was
see
telling
it
me her friend was doing
socially,
that.
and then you're like, do you really like me? Because we're gonna meet for the first time now, and I'm not gonna be what you expect. Yeah.
No, you can't do that. See, you can't get away with a physical lie like that. You just even
You
in
can
virtual
if the girl
land.
is short. Like, she doesn't know exactly how tall you are. You could say you're 5'10", and you're actually like 5'8", 5'7", and she probably wouldn't know if she's 5'4".
Yeah, you're taking a major chance there, basing the whole relationship on a lie, Eric. You really want to do that? All right. Eric, how's Andy? What's
How's
he been up to?
Andy? Andy's gonna be coming to Dallas hopefully in the summer. He's gonna
Who
come
is
visit.
Andy?
This
I'm
is my
sorry, I
older
do not
brother.
know
He's my
Andy.
oldest brother. I have a special needs oldest brother.
Okay.
So he's been in a lot of vlogs, and he's on Instagram sometimes here and there. And people are always asking how Andy is. He's sweet.
Where is home for you?
Home
What
right now
city?
is in Dallas.
Dallas, Texas. Okay, good deal.
But home moves. Home has only been Dallas for about 6 months. So
Oh yeah, how often do you move around?
it's been about every year for the past decade, actually.
Wow.
Is that just for the fun of it? I mean,
I
didn't
was doing contract work, so I was a pharmacy contractor. So I would move.
Mhm.
I would work 4 months at a time out here, 6 months at a time over here. My wife was working overseas, so I went overseas. She was in Thailand for a year, then she went to Dubai for a year, and then we went to Midland, Texas for 2 years, which was actually, when we were there, I was like, wow, we've been in a place for 2 years. That's like the longest I've ever been in a place in the last decade. So we've just been bouncing, following her job at one point, but now we're just in Dallas with neither of us are working 9 to 5s.
Okay.
Both self-employed now.
I can't imagine that in the pharmaceutical world that there's much virtual work to be done.
You'd be surprised. Some of it's just order entry. So they call it CPOE, computer processing order entry or something.
Okay.
And it's literally where you see you can do it remotely. You see the physical image of the prescription, what was scanned in or photographed with some sort of image photographer. And then you see like the, I guess the hospital or whatever, the pharmacy side of how you enter it into their system. So you just like basically you're doing data entry kind of like that, but it legally has to be a pharmacist oversight for that.
Okay.
To get the final verification of the order. So that remote order being checked or double checked, and then it gets sent to being processed. So yeah, there is some remote order entry. Also consultation phone calls. There's like call centers where you can phone and talk to a pharmacist, like Walgreens, I think, has one, but I don't want to do any of that either.
Yeah. That sounds like boring work when you
remote order.
Come on.
Remote order entry would be okay, I guess, but it still would just be like staring at a screen, just like, I don't know. I'd get bored of it. The pay would be good, but yeah.
Well, real quick, back to sourcing and reselling. Where is your favorite place to source? For the things you like to sell, where do you find the most profit? At a thrift store, at a yard sale, at an estate sale, at a pawn shop?
They all have their pros and cons. Like I've found great things at regular thrift stores, and I found nothing at regular thrift stores. I've done great yard sales sometimes, and just found crap one day. And pawn shops, I had really good pawn shopping when I was in a different city, and then now I'm not doing as well with the pawn shops. So it totally just varies. I like whatever's convenient, honestly. If I'm out and about, and there's a thrift shop close by, I'll stop in. Or if there's a pawn shop close by, I'll stop in. Or if there's a bins, I'll go to the bins and snoop around. But it's just...
You catch yourself thrifting on vacation?
Oh, absolutely. Always. I always like to see what kind of trickles down into different areas, because you get to see what those people had, if they were like wealthy, or if they were I don't know, like craftsmen or something. Like things can kind of trickle down secondhand. Different brands based off, brands follow personalities a little bit sometimes, and some social class also, I guess.
Right. You know what? I totally forgot to ask you earlier when we were talking about electronics. Are you the family guy that your entire family calls on to fix their computer or to fix their cell phone? Why can't I log into my website?
Friends, and not just to fix it, but to provide recommendations to buy new products as well.
Right.
Or just to keep an eye out for something if they're looking for it.
So my mom and dad, my dad's in the 70s, my mom's in her 60s, and they are both always contacting me about something with their cell phone. So I'm an Android guy. You iPhone or Android guy?
I use a Pixel. I use a Google Pixel.
There you go.
I like open source. I don't really like them cracking down on app stores and stuff. So, I mean, I own Apple stock. I don't own Google stock, but I own Apple stock, but I use Android.
True. But okay, so because of that, I'm an Android fan. I almost really,
and I'm on a Mac
didn't I,
computer,
Josh? I am an Android fan. So if my mom and dad, I told them straight up, if you want me to be your tech support, you've got to own an Android phone, even though more than likely they would have a better experience at their age and, you know, lack of knowledge and technology. iPhone would probably give them a better experience. I couldn't help them worth a crap if they wanted me to, and I know they were going to. So what do your parents who call on you to help you with tech support, what do your parents carry?
I got my mom an iPhone, and my dad has an iPhone too.
And do you know how to support them if you need to?
My wife has an iPhone. Like, I'm familiar. I do iOS tutorials as well online. I have them all, so I can help everybody actually.
You're a better man than I am, my friend.
Because everyone wants to print from their iPhone. Like, that's one of my best videos right now is printing from an iPhone, because a lot of people don't know how to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Android is, I don't know. I guess mine just connected like that. I have an HP regular printer. Obviously my Zebra won't print from my Android, but I have fill me in. Maybe that's a longer conversation at a later time.
You have to use an OTG cable or whatever. It's basically a USB-C. You should be able to plug your printer into a USB-C port. Use a converter and print with a ZP driver. I'll send you a link to the specific video I have on it, but you can do it. It's cabled.
There you go. And then there's always the age-old question that I don't think you've even figured out: how to get an actual really good 4x6 label from Mercari. I mean, I know there's the whole screenshot scenario, right?
You just have to crop it on a desktop or screenshot it.
Hope and pray your US Postal Service person won't fuss at you whenever you drop it off.
Mercari is a Japanese company, and Japanese are very innovative when it comes to technology, and I cannot believe that they have not done something so simple when it comes to workflow. They are like masters of wanting perfect workflow, perfect products, like design, and they don't have 4x6 on it. So stupid.
That it's crazy. Absolutely nuts. Wow. I think that's what a lot of Mercari users and resellers just dislike the most about their Mercari, experience, right? What about you, Josh? You sell on Mercari too, right?
No, we have totally dealt with eBay, a little bit of Facebook Marketplace, just because we're getting into some like good trending furniture and stuff.
Right.
But no, I started to go with Mercari, and I just haven't killed, eBay, because it's, got my wife full time now, and it's done pretty good. If we keep growing at the pace we're doing, we are going to branch out to other platforms. And, I like the multi-revenue stream coming in. But like I said, we've only been doing this for 16 months now. So
get the cross listing under your belt, man. So Josh, I know you got to run. I really do appreciate you stepping in and agreeing to be my guest co-host tonight. Sincerely appreciate it, y'all. Right now, Josh is about to start his 9:00 show. I put the link to it in the chat. If y'all want to make sure you go over there and check him out, and we both appreciate that. And make sure while you're there, subscribe to him if you haven't already.
Hey, definitely, Adam. Eric, thank you so much, man. Like I said, and keep putting out the content. I love what you're doing on YouTube, but guys, go check out Eric, the College Picker, on Instagram as well.
Most of the thrifting stuff comes on Instagram. I don't do the thrifting stuff on YouTube anymore. It's like too much time consuming, I guess, to make one video. So I've been just doing it on Instagram.
Definitely.
You're knocking it out of the park, what you're doing. All right, Josh, we'll catch you over there on your show later.
Thanks, buddy. I'll talk to y'all later. Once again, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Absolutely, buddy. Have a good night. All right, Eric, I do have segment that I like to call Hot or Not. If you got a few items you want to share with the crowd, we can do that now.
Hot or not.
There we go. Hot or not.
Sorry, I guess we're gonna do a not first. Or
Okay.
can we do? Yeah.
No, it doesn't matter
am
what order
I
you go in.
asking them if it's hot or not?
So the point is on a hot or not is you hear the word BOLO all the time, right? It's be on lookout, right? It's things you should be looking for while you're outsourcing to make sure you pick it up because it's a hot item right now. But then you've got these not items, the items that maybe they were at one point in time a BOLO, but they've just completely fallen off the radar, right? Or you picked it up thinking it was a great item, but it ended up being a huge flop. And we just want to, share with our crowd, our followers, our subscribers to stay away from this item because it's not going to be worth the money you put into it. Jeff, what you got?
So what's hot? I don't think this is seasonal though. It's kind of been like a classic hot forever, I guess. And that's St. John clothing. It's a women's clothing brand that's sold at Nordstrom, I believe. And like it's primo expensive, and it's expensive. And their jackets do well. My wife found, just St. John, ST John.
Okay. Now, is it one of those? I've never heard of the brand. I've heard of St. John's Bay, but clearly that's not the same thing.
Knot. Is don't get it confused with St. John's Bay.
Sorry,
that's the knot. No, you got it.
Well, okay. So is St. John one of those that's expensive enough they're making fakes of it?
The thing is it's not. They're not flashy logos, so it's like you wouldn't know that it's St. John unless you like the material, the look, like the build quality on it has to be a certain way. Like it's not flashy. So we've only found it once, and we've only found it because we've been in Dallas, because Dallas is actually a pretty fashionable city. So there are there's like it's a richer women's clothing. So it's like it's like a higher priced women's clothing. So I would say it's like a higher upper middle to upper class would be buying these kind of things, because some of the jackets are like $1,000 for just like a wool jacket. So,
well, that's good. If anybody's into the ladies' clothing, look out for that name if you haven't heard of it already.
St. John could be, good.
I want to say, hey, real quick to Danica, that Lady Luck Junk. Thanks for coming out tonight, lady. Appreciate you. And so your not is St. John's Bay. So don't get it confused with St. John's Bay.
Don't be going buying all the St. John's Bay.
Flippy says, I hear Yeti Christmas bedroom shoes are hot. I didn't even know Yeti made shoes, much less Christmas bedroom shoes.
That's an inside joke from some Facebook or Instagram lives last year.
Oh, man. That's crazy. Well, I'm going to see if I can share my screen with you guys real quick. I want to share my hot and not in this fashion. All right, so here is my hot. Seen it DVD games for specific things. In this case, the Harry Potter Complete Cinematic Journey. So I see Seen It games on the shelves at thrift stores and Goodwills all the time. And then there's tons of different versions, right? But this particular one, the Harry Potter Cinematic Journey, is a hot. You got $75, $80 for a complete set, right? In addition to that, I'll even tag in that the Seen It Disney first and second editions are hot as well. Okay. So they did make two editions because they have like the older Disney and then the newer like Pixar Disney, right? So that's editions 1 and editions 2. So those are hot as well. They're not as hot as the Harry Potter, but they're still like $35, $40 for the game. Now, there are some more that aren't so good, and that's like Fran's Seen It and Marvel Seen It, but that's kind of on the cusp of not as hot as the others. And those are pretty much the only ones you really can get a turnover, a good flip for. I mean, there's so many different Seen It games. They can't all be good, right? And so these are the 4 you should be looking out for. Marvel, Friends, Disney, and Harry Potter, The Complete Journey. one of the 4 of those will definitely get you some money. And at a thrift store, they're probably only going to be $2 or $3 or $4 or $5, right? Well, my hot, this is me admitting that my knot is not a knot anymore. Apparently, the market fluctuates. So Psycho Bunny about 2 months ago was on a downward turn where you would look up a polo for Psycho Bunny. And well, here's an example right here. $18 when they should sell for around $40.
That's an awful picture too, though.
Yeah, it is.
Like,
but
the sleeves are all junked up.
Psycho Bunnies are they are good in the store. They're $75, $80 shirts. So I guess this just goes to show how much the market can fluctuate on a certain item. So you should always be looking at your comps, even on something you think was a hot item 3 months ago, may be a not item at this point in time, and you could be sitting on it for quite a while. So always remember to check your comps. You never know when something may be on a downward spiral of a not situation. So remember that, guys. And that's all I got for tonight as far as hot and not is concerned. Eric, let's call that a wrap, buddy. I sincerely appreciate you coming on to the show tonight and teaching us all about your YouTube, your electronics, your history. I learned new about you. Pharmaceuticals, I did not know that, man. And I'm glad that I do now. I feel like I know you a lot better than just watching your YouTube videos. Your teaching videos are amazing. I've found your video just from regular searches that I've done on my own. So keep doing what you're doing, man. It works, and I think it's going to be a huge success for you. Anything you want to shout out to the crowd? Anything you got coming up on your channel they should know about, or things like that?
Nothing. No, just it's not an interesting life. It's just boring. Home life's pretty boring. Just work, put your head down, work, and then work. Yeah, just work. And I appreciate everyone who came and tuned in. Twin Flippers, Gravity Goods, Lady Lek Junk, SSK Promo.
Look, Cameron made it. Thanks, Cameron. Appreciate you, buddy. Angelo, I always appreciate all the support that the crowd gives during these shows. You're always helping us out, keeping the conversations rolling. All right. Thanks again, everybody, for showing up tonight. Eric, I do appreciate it. Y'all don't forget to subscribe to Eric's channel. It's down in the description below. And head on over to Josh at Flip Spines Fun, where he's going to teach you all about disc golf and how you can make some money reselling disc golf.
Oh, he's a disc golfer. I might have to check that out.
All right, guys. Y'all have a great night. Thanks again for coming out. Bye-bye.